Hello,
Hi,
Master.
Master.
Hey guys, how are you?
Very good.
We are good,
How are you,
Master.
Master?
Yeah, thanks that you asked. That means I'm still alive.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a very exciting couple of days. Everything comes together.
Master.
Like dogs, people have problems, business has problems, residents have problems, female residents have problems, male residents have problems, and one of your colleagues has to go home because the father has problems, and I have some problems.
Oh no.
Oh, Master.
It's okay, it's no big deal, no big deal. Yeah, it is, for me, it's usual, eh? Just I want to add it on so the list is a little longer. Yeah. And so you would feel sorry for me. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, someday I wish I am like Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, 1,000 hands, 1,000 eyes.
Yes.
Because Kuan Yin Bodhisattva is supposed to have 1,000 hands, 1,000 eyes so that she can hear everywhere and can help everyone. But never mind, I can still breathe. A lot of work. Oh, sometimes everything comes at once. Yeah, and even the shows also have problems.
Wow.
Not only some side shows, not like main shows, have no problem. But then this time they also have problems. They just want to be on the list,
Gosh.
Yeah, never mind. It's not all that serious. You don't have to call God all the time. Yeah, God is also very busy. Everybody calls Him.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, Master.
Angels are also busy. Saints are also busy because we're too many.
Yes,
Yes.
true.
And the good people are not that many. Meaning angels and saints are not that many, not as many as the bad ones.
Understand.
And they're busy running here and there helping everybody and telling them to change their lifestyle so that they don't have to be in trouble. But no, they prefer to call the angel making trouble. Make trouble for the poor angels. They couldn't run, fly quick enough. Now you wonder why the angels have feet and also have wings. So they can both run and fly at the same time. Yeah, otherwise how do you think they can help humans?
That's right.
Yeah, we humans are bad.
Yes.
Make trouble all the time. Yeah. I have some good news for you.
Please share it with us, Master.
I'm in so much stress. I just wanted to tell you some good news.
We'd like to hear.
Even though it's all commercial, but it's better than nothing. Like Macron, he called for Russia to free the Ukrainian meaning the prisoner of war. POW. He and another president, I forgot the other one. And Angela Merkel,
Yes, Master.
the ex-chancellor of Germany, after all these decades of silence, now she called the war in Russia barbaric. Yeah. And the P. Francis asked Russia to open the port of the Black Sea. Called Russia to open it so that people can transport their food.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, because everybody is hungry. In Africa, they're short of this, they're short of that.
Yes, Master.
They keep calling the world for help. And the war is also in shortage.
Yes.
Because the war in Ukraine affects everything, not just Ukraine,
Yes, Master.
not just Europe, but affects also Central America and Africa.
Yes, Master.
And it affects me.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, and affects Taiwan. People are scared, in Taiwan.
Yes.
They worry that something like Ukraine could happen to them.
Yes.
Yes.
And that scary atmosphere around the world also scares me. Makes me sleepless. Well, I told you these good news, they were just commercials. But better than the opposite news, right?
Yes,
Master.
Yes,
Better than saying the opposite.
Right.
Right, Master.
At least outwardly they show some humane character.
That's right.
Yes, Master.
Even though it's just commercial. You will know why later on, perhaps. Maybe you know already from Miss Frau Angela Merkel, because she is planning to go back into the limelight.
Wow.
So it's time to say something humane, huh?
Yes, yes.
That's how it is commercial. And P. Francis has been beaten enough, so he says something also. Instead of screaming from the beating, he just says something. And Macron calling Russia to free the prisoner of war. Oh, these things are impossible. just inquire for looking good. Just to look good. But he knows very well Russia doesn't just set free the prisoner of war like that. 2000 something from the Azov region before.
Yes, Master.
They even call them terrorists. How do you think they're going to just let them go?
Right, Master.
Even if they let them go, they have to have a price.
Yes,
Yes, Master.
Exchange prisoners or have some condition or something. It will cost Ukraine something.
Right.
That's true, yes.
It's good to say something good.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
for sure.
People will think, oh, good guy, good boy, huh? These leaders, even if they don't listen, if they say something good, do something good, so bravo. Okay? We give them encouragement. Thank you for being good.
Yes, that's
Yes.
May they continue.
I hope they change their hearts.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Not just commercial, because God will see to it.
Right.
Yes.
If you're good to others, God will be good to you.
That's right.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Okay, now I give you so many good news. I hope you give me something back quickly.
Okay, well, we have the news. It's kind of good as well. Russia has agreed that Turkey can help demine the ports to enable cargo ships to leave if Ukraine agrees not to disrupt the Russian Navy, as they have accused Ukraine of mining the port. So that Russia's foreign minister will go to Turkey on the 8th of June for talks on this issue of opening a security corridor that also includes shipping of wheat in the Black Sea.
Yeah, my God. Yeah, they just say things, blaming Ukraine for putting mines there. How does Ukraine even swim over there with Russia all over? Huh?
Right,
Yes,
Master.
that's true.
Right.
Russia has taken the whole region there with the Crimea knit together already.
Yeah.
It's about 1/5 of Ukraine that they took away. And all linked together from Crimea. You see all that sea area, all that seafront ports?
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if Russian ships did not go in anymore, it's all Russia. All Russia-backed. You see, for Russia. So how can Ukraine even sneak in there and put some mines there? My God, lah.
That's true. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, you don't need to wonder. You ask a 5-year-old kid, and he'll tell you. But of course, I'm not an army militant or a general, colonel, or even lieutenant. But these are logical things.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
right.
Yes, Master.
You look at the map. It's all red there.
Yeah.
Yes.
How can Ukraine even go to Turkey? Put mines in the sea or wherever.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
It's like the ostrich. People, they put their head in the sand and the whole body is wagging outside. And nobody will see it. Yeah, just like if you go in the desert, you cover your ears and you shout very loud and the houses in the desert don't hear you. Because you cover your ears, you don't hear yourself. My God. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Putin is dead. And so now this La Robe went all over the world. He went to Arab countries and explained, all kinds of things. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to go to Arab countries to explain that we could not open the seaport because of Ukraine mines.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
Ukraine couldn't get anywhere near there.
Right.
If you walk out of Ukraine, then it's a Russian border already.
Yes, Master.
And all the seaport areas are now controlled by Russia. Well, to Ukraine to even use some invisible clock or something and carry some invisible mines, and fly in some invisible drones and and dig digging some invisible hole and then putting some invisible mines in there. Yeah. And cover the whole area invisibly so that nobody can see them digging. Oh, that's a good joke. And the mines in the sea, by a very strange coincidence, are all made in Russia. And they blame Ukraine for putting them there.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see that Lavrov looks very miserable now.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Perplexed and kind of occupied in his head. And the tone is not threatening anymore, but it's kind of pleading, almost like apologetic. Yeah, because his boss is gone now. He's lost. Oh, man, you are the king of a big country, and now you just lay in the cold, icy space, maybe 2.5 meters wide, like everybody else.
Yes.
In the mall,
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
like everybody else, like a street sweeper.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about you anymore. Even after you die, you leave headaches to your subordinates to take care of. Now, you mess it up, man. Oh, I'm telling you, why don't they ever learn this kind of lesson, that life is ephemeral? Nobody takes anything with them after they're gone to the other side.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, my God. Lah. Okay, anything else?
President Zelensky has announced 50 embassies have resumed operations in Kyiv. And he also said every new embassy that returns to our capital is a testament to the faith in our victory.
Okay. I hope they will not feel too confident yet. Because sometimes when you keep winning, then you become too overconfident. And then you will lose.
Yes, Master.
They always have to keep their low level of confidence. Just enough to continue, but not to be arrogant and too overconfident. I'm glad the world comes back to show Ukraine the unity and support. It would be best if they let them join the EU and NATO immediately. That would be the best unification up front.
Yes.
Okay. And next one?
So we have a question here. The former US state,
That's the only good news?
there was only a couple of news that we had.
Any more?
No, Master.
That's it. Only one. That's one, not couple.
There were two.
Two?
About the seaport.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course. Your master is old. Yeah. That's the proof, okay? So be gentle with me, huh? Right. Next question.
Okay, so first question is, the former US Secretary of State Henry Kissinger also suggests that Zelensky should give some land up for Russia so that there can be peace between the two nations. But we think this is not right. Master, what do you think?
You're right. It's not right. Because they will never stop. Originally, they could not take Kyiv. They wanted to take the whole country. And they lost. But then they have the Donbass, two regions, Luhansk and Donetsk. So they use that as a stepping stone. That's a backup. And then now they're winning more over there. Just because they have these two bases to back them up.
Yes.
They could go there and have a base and maybe have food.
Yes, Master.
And take a rest and can be more regrouped and take more weapons.
Yes, Master.
And they continue to attack more regions in Donbass. And they keep winning a couple of pockets here and there.
Yes, Master.
Tonight, the Russian military intensifying its relentless assault on civilians, striking an apartment building in Kharkiv. And in eastern Donetsk, Ukrainian officials say dozens are dead after a Russian missile hit this 5-story apartment building over the weekend. Rescuers diligently combing through the rubble. Families desperate for word on their loved ones. This man is looking for his sister and nephew. He says he is waiting for a miracle. For some, miracles have come. Rescuers pulled 9 people from the rubble injured but alive. Ukraine's President Zelensky accused Russia of targeting civilians as Russia now gains ground in eastern Ukraine.
Ukrainian towns and cities are falling to Russia's advance. Russia has the momentum in the east, and Russian troops are just a mile from the village of Siversk. Lubov has been working in the shop for 20 years.
Вот, и очень хочется, чтобы это все быстрее кончилось. Но это было просто ужасно, то, что с нами случилось, мы не понимаем. Страшно нам жить в таких условиях, очень страшно каждую минуту. Боимся прилетов, боимся за родных и близких, боимся не дожить до победы. Мы хотим дожить до победы.
And Ukraine has been somehow weakened for now, but maybe the tide will change soon because they will have more different weapons that are more helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I never liked all this fighting and weapons. But I don't know what's wrong with Kissinger. There's nothing good about him anyway. He has done a lot more harm than good during his career.
Oh.
And now he still wants to do more harm. Who asked his opinion? He's 90-something already, right?
Yeah.
Who asked his senile brain? Huh? Even the first lady of Ukraine also told him off. You don't need a man. No need for you even to say anything. Even a woman knows better. Even if President Zelensky wants to give, he has to ask his people, no?
Yes.
Yes, right.
And even if Russia makes a fake conference or referendum to prove that the people there want to stay with Russia, even then everybody knows that it's outright a robbery.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
This sends a terrible message to the world, like, okay, you just amass a lot of weapons, and your country gets bigger and bigger, and you just go anywhere, storm in, and then kill women, kill children, kill anybody inside to terrify people, and then you get more land.
Yeah, true.
Isn't that a good thing to do?
No,
Master.
To support?
No.
No, Master.
Yeah, only stupid people would do that.
Right.
I mean, if there's no other way at all, if worse comes to worse, then maybe it happened, but it's not like you encourage somebody to cut off a piece of his body to give it to a robber so that he becomes at peace.
Yes, Master.
Take all your money, your bank account, everything, credit card, give it all to him. And he will leave you alone? No, you come back. Because he's too good.
Right. Yes.
Right.
And even if he doesn't come back to you because he robbed everything he wants from you already, he goes to the neighbors or the other town or the other state and do the same thing because he's successful. It makes him rich and everybody cowers in front of him.
Yes, right.
What kind of talk is that? Only stupid people. But I'm telling you, he's one of those in the black dot. I told you, you have to know what they say. You have to see what they say, what they do, whom they support. Then you know if they are in the black dot or the white dot. See, or black region or white region.
Right. Yes.
It's a shame that America has to have such a son like him. After all this terrorism from Russia, after they rape and kill children and women, even boys are raped by Russians, only 11 years old, and still utter such nonsense.
Yeah.
If you cannot help it, just shut up. As I have told many times already, if you can't say anything good to comfort people, then just shut up. Nobody asked his opinion. He's an ex already.
Yes.
Ex and old.
Right.
The combination of the two is no good for saying anything. It's very good for shutting up. Okay. His history is very bad anyway. If you want to read it, I don't recommend it. You will feel like puking. You will puke. One of the black dots that contributes to that black spot in the white area of the Tao symbol.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Or are you happy with my answer?
Yes, thank you for clarifying that, Master.
Yeah, you can read his history if you don't believe me. You can't feel surprised if such a man would say such things. Even so near the grave,
Yeah.
almost, how you say, thrown into the coffin already, and he wants to say something.
Yeah.
What if people will forget him? Oh, God. These people, they're just so ambitious all the time. They can't just stay out of the limelight. Even if they say something bad, just to get attention.
Yeah.
Like against everybody, sticking out like a sore thumb.
Right.
Master.
Without shame, as long as they get attention. Some people are like that. They're sick.
Yeah.
Sick in the mind. They're evil. They are in the black dot.
Yes, Master.
Because the whole world is supporting Ukraine, and he is one of the two that does not support. So we can call that in the black dot.
Yes.
We cannot say that he's in the black region, the big region, but in the black dot.
Yes, Master.
Because compared to that, the whole world is in the white region, and he's in the black dot.
Oh, yes, Master.
Okay. Any more questions?
Yes, Master.
Because I'm going to read you a story.
Thank you.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
So be fast. Tell me.
Master, Prime Minister Orban of Hungary insists his nation needs Russian oil. So the European Union has to make an exception to an oil embargo.
A ban on oil from Russia had been stalled for nearly a month because of objections from the EU leader with the friendliest relations with Vladimir Putin. Even at the start of the meeting, Hungary's recently re-elected Prime Minister Viktor Orban seemed opposed. President Zelensky's office released part of his speech when he joined the meeting by video link.
Finally, all quarrels in Europe must end. Internal disputes that only encourage Russia to put more pressure on you, on the whole of Europe. The 6th sanctions package must be agreed. It must be effective, including oil, to make Russia feel the consequences of what it's doing to Ukraine and the whole of Europe.
There was a breakthrough soon afterwards. The final sanctions package agreed. But this is not the original oil ban proposed by the European Commission. It's been watered down.
The European Union pledged to enforce an oil embargo against Russia late on Monday, an agreement in principle that solved a deadlock with Hungary and the toughest effort yet to sanction Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. For now, the deal exempts 10% of oil from the ban so that Hungary, as well as Slovenia and the Czech Republic, have access to a southern Russian pipeline. Hungary was the main holdout for a deal. All three countries said the fuel from that pipeline was difficult to replace.
But this seems not right for European Union solidarity.
Yeah.
Can Master please share her thoughts on this?
The European Union finally had to give in to his demands. He's in the black dot. So I don't need to tell you anything anymore.
Understand.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
And the so-called patriarch of Russian Orthodox Christians, his name is Kirill. He is 100% supporting Putin, and he even praised Putin like God sent.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what Putin wants to be. Like, he wants to be like representing God or God himself even. It is also predicted like that, even from Our Lady of La Salette in France. She predicted that one will rise up with the army from several countries, and he will go against the teaching of Jesus to frighten people and frighten the faithful.
Wow.
But he will be thrown into fire. Yeah. Oh, this is defeating Putin. He got also several army legions from Chechnya and from Syria.
Yes.
So it looks like him. And even Kirill, the patriarch, has to praise him as God sent to do what? To molest people, kill people, rob people, land. He is another black dot.
Yes, Master.
Small black dot that contributes to the bigger black dot. And even then, Orban interferes because the world wants to sanction him as well for supporting and encouraging Putin to make war in Ukraine. He is supposed to be a spiritual leader. He should know better.
Yes,
He
Master.
encourages Putin and call him God sent for what? If you tell a 5-year-old kid, he will laugh himself to death.
Yes.
My God, don't they have any shame or they have no education or anything? I think they're just a bunch of robbers
Yes.
and happen to sit on top, that's all. Oh my God, one sits on top of the secular throne and the other sits on top of the religious throne. And get together like a band. And the other gangster as well. Sometimes gangsters get lucky, no? Just like sometimes in some countries in this old times, some rebel just rises up and then kicks out the king and then sits on top of that himself.
Yes.
And then harassing the people, the way they always do with robbers, habits and mentality.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
of his karma makes me very unwell these days. They're together, gang together.
Yes.
Master.
And now you can see why I told you Orban is one in the black dot.
Yes, Master.
Against the whole good world, good European Union.
Yes.
Right.
And there are, I think, one or two more. They're all in the black dot.
Oh.
This so-called patriot, the West wanted to sanction him because he encourages the war and the brutality and cruelty and robbery like that. EU wanted to sanction him. And then Orban jumped in to interfere, make some deal or something. So that the so-called patriot got off the hook.
Yes.
I'm telling you, they're all together. They're a whole band, whole gang.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Master.
It's not the first time that Orban is against the rest of Europe. I remember when there was a big refugee crisis from Syria and people walked miles and miles with children and no luggage, nothing much. They arrived in Europe, but they have to pass Hungary. One of the routes is to pass Hungary.
Yeah.
And then they just wanted to pass by. They didn't even want to go to Hungary. And Orban ordered police at the border and then ordered soldiers to come and build a big fence to stop them. And it was winter and they have nothing. There was no tent, no infrastructure for them at that border. So cruel.
Yes.
And they're pretending to protect Europe. Well, nobody needs them to protect. At that time, Germany opened its house for everybody to come in openly.
Right.
Yes.
Many stayed open and welcomed them. But they just got stuck at the border because Orban did not let them pass. And then later, somehow, I heard that they say, oh, you just go to Hungary first. And they didn't want to. They were afraid that they would be kept there. They did not even want to go to Hungary.
Right.
Other countries opened their arms to let the Syrian people in. After the little kid died on the beach alone like that,
Yes.
just a 3 years old kid died on the beach alone. The Syrian kid died because their boat capsized. They died on the beach. Germany opened their house, opened their arms, and let them come in. And then Hungary just stopped them like that. It was winter at that time, I remember. I was still in Europe. I was in France then. And I saw all this news, and they just stopped them at the border, and they had nothing to cover themselves. Many were sick and hungry and died. So nasty, so cruel. So now you believe me that he's one in the black dot.
Definitely.
Yes, Master.
You look at his face and you know, very stone cold.
Yes.
Whatever in the name of national, whatever is all BS. There's no love, no heart.
No, that's true.
That's why it's one of the black dot group, one in the black dot.
Yes, Master.
Okay, now you know.
Another thing, Secretary General of NATO, Stoltenberg, says that the West have to brace for the long-haul war in Ukraine.
We have to be realistic and realize that this may last for a long time, for many months, for even years. And that's the reason why we need also to be prepared for long haul.
This is a negative prediction. This is not very positive at all.
No, it's not. But he's negative himself. You can see it in his face.
Yes, also.
You don't have to look through to the soul, you can see in the face. He's one of the ones in the black dot as well. In the beginning, remember, he just kind of almost didn't want to have anything to do with Ukraine.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
Then afterwards, people pressure him, and then he put all NATO countries in alert mode.
Yes.
But still had nothing to do with Ukraine. It looked like he didn't want to have it all.
That's right.
It looked like he wanted Ukraine to just fend for himself alone, live or die.
Yes.
That's true.
And now still that kind of attitude.
Yes, exactly.
What for he has to make his hands dirty, yeah? It's not his country.
Yes.
He's safe, he always gets paid and has everything he wants.
That's right.
As a top leader of a mighty army organization, he doesn't care if the neighbor dies or leaves or is raped or tortured or murdered or house is burned down and 14 million refugees.
Yes.
You can see his face. You can see his attitude, his body language.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm disgusted with this guy. I told you many times.
Yes.
And now you can see it.
Yes.
He wants to prolong the war. He wants people to suffer. he couldn't care less. The more Ukraine suffer, the more other neighbors want to join. Several other neighbors also thinking of joining NATO, not just Finland and Sweden. Finland and Sweden have already officially applied.
Yes.
And other neighbors also seem to think in that direction already. I read in the news.
Right.
The more Ukraine suffers, the more people are scared. And the more people are scared, the more they will join NATO, and he'll be more mighty and look more powerful.
Oh, gosh.
All allies agree that NATO enlargement has been a great success.
Oh, I just look at his attitude, his body language, his face, and I feel sick already. No matter what excuses he makes, no use.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, you have power, you have many people, and you see your neighbor being beaten right in front of you, and you just do nothing.
Yes.
Just talk big, let the neighbor suffer so that other neighbors can come to you begging for protection.
Oh, that's so ugly.
This guy is evil also, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Just all these strategies, all politically motivated, all power, greed, and cruelty.
Yes.
Cruelty in this guy. Passive cruelty.
That's right.
That's right.
Just like in the beginning, Biden wants Ukraine to lose.
Yeah.
On one hand, he says Putin is a killer. On the other hand, couldn't care less whom he kills. And just because it looks like they're against Putin, but they are together with Putin. You don't understand this. Do you understand it?
Yes.
The way they do things is supporting, just to make an advantage for Putin.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking, and that's what I'm seeing.
We said from the beginning, and I know you did as well, that if this administration was really serious about crippling the Russian war effort, they wouldn't be funding it through the back door by continuing to do huge business with China.
That's exactly right. But this administration has no plan, no strategy. They're not willing to confront the hard truth that the partnership that Xi Jinping in China calls unlimited. He says we're unlimited friends. They're unwilling to confront the challenge that presents and be serious about this.
So that's why I told you, all these so-called leaders of NATO or whatever countries behave like that. I told you they're not worth their salt. They are just passive, aggressive, passive cruelty.
Yes.
They are all in this black dot.
Yes.
Now you understand.
Yes, Master.
You do understand, really?
Yes, we do.
So they work together, but on the surface, it looks like they're against each other.
Yeah.
Biden, Stoltenberg, Putin, and the gangs, they're all the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to see underneath their appearance, but still you can see it clearly.
Yes, it's obvious. In their mannerisms and their expressions, their face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't hide. It doesn't hide who they are, actually.
Yeah. So cold and just some are outright cruel, like Putin and the gangs, and some are hidden.
Right.
Just like some people have this passive aggression.
Yes.
Something like that. They can only fool the fool.
That's true.
Yes, true.
They cannot fool people who have eyes.
That's right.
Yes, Master.
Because Russia went to Ukraine and did all kinds of atrocities, genocide, and just pure robbery.
That's right, Master.
Went in there and stole people's wheat, food,
Yes.
in many thousands of tons, and took it away to bring it to Russia. And even stole their farm equipment, stole their children in hundreds of thousands, and stole people's money, underwear even, stole their water heater, and put it on the tank, and people even recognize it. Oh, the housewife said, oh, this is mine. It's my heater. He went to my house and took it. Like that.
I woke up and looked at my phone. My husband had sent me a photo with the message, "Do you notice anything strange?" I started to look closely and realized that there was a tank going along our Pervomayskaya street, completely full of belongings. There was a box on this tank. It's clear, of course, that many people will now say the box could be somebody else's. But I had exactly the same box in my pergola. It's a box with a gas boiler that we bought just before the new year. Plus, when I started looking more at the picture, I noticed the children's bed linen, which had been bought There are salesmen who come on Thursdays and they sell European items, and this bed linen was bought from them. I hadn't even opened it. It was placed in my child's room and left there. So it's definitely mine. When you are left with nothing, you look closer at everything. I realized that so many people have looked at this photograph. And sadly, it turned out that they were my belongings. I just want to make the point that the Russian army is not only destroying, they are also stealing what hasn't been destroyed.
And stole people dogs to eat. Yeah, now they have nothing to eat, so they eat the dog person. Oh my God! Because some people ran and probably they couldn't take their dogs with them.
Yes.
Many did. But not all the dog people can be taken in a time of urgency.
I understand.
Yeah, maybe they have children, elderly, so they can't even take dog people with them. They probably think they will come back. They probably think the dogs will be okay for a while, but see, these dog people, eaters, they won't let even dog people in peace. Reading all this news gives me truly a physical headache and it's nauseating. I wanted to vomit. Every time I had to be patient. I had to continue reading, searching the news for the world to see. Because if I cannot do that, then what else would I do to help Ukraine and help the freedom and democracy of the world?
Yes, Master.
Being silent is just the same as supporting.
Understand, yes, Master.
Even if we are safe and in peace, but other people are in agony. They lost everything. They've been raped and killed. How can you just turn blind eyes as if you don't know anything? I mean, how can I do that? At least this is what we can do. We show all this to the world.
Yes, Master.
Whatever I can collect, and some of you also collect, and we show it all to the world so people will be more aware. Those who are not aware, or those who are pro-Russia, by ignorance, by fake news and by public relations propaganda, they would know better. And then at least they don't support Russia and do not slander Ukraine or help Russia to kill Ukraine. We are helping.
Yes, Master.
In some way we are helping.
Yes,
Master.
So I also thank all of you here. I mean, everywhere that is doing this work, like reading the news that I send, rearrange it and air it. At least you have to read it first in order to rearrange it and put it on the screen and air it. And this may affect you somehow. So please, if you feel headaches or nauseating from it, then just go out for a while and come back, okay?
Yes, Master.
Go out or maybe do a quick meditation. And drink something, wash your face, take in some fresh air, do some running in one place or walking fast, something for a while and come back to do it.
Okay, Master.
Yes, Master.
Because it gives me headache, it gives me nauseating, pain, physically, not just spiritually or emotionally.
Yes.
But we have to continue. No one would do this. No one else would have enough. We have channels everywhere in the world.
Yes.
We reach far, and many people will understand.
That's right, Master.
Many people will know who is what, instead of being misled and siding with the devils and harming the good.
Yes, Master.
We want to show the world all the facts about the war. It is not political. It is very spiritual, because if people understand the war and the consequences and the unfairness thereof, they will lean toward the positive side, the righteous side.
Yes, Master.
We want to show the world all the facts about the war. It is not political. It is very spiritual, because if people understand the war and the consequences and the unfairness thereof, they will lean toward the positive side, the righteous side. So, in that case, they will be on the side of the positive power instead of the negative power, the good instead of the evil. So, if they are leaning toward the positive side, they will be, of course, in the positive direction, and it's good for them.
Yes.
And if they are misled and support the negative power, evil power, just like Putin and the gangs, then they will slip down into the negative direction. That's very bad for them.
I understand, Master.
So what we're doing is also very spiritual. Apart from we are doing it because we feel sorry for the world or for the victims of the war, for example. But it has also a spiritual aspect, and it will affect people also spiritually. Understand now?
Yes, understand.
It's not political. So our work is helpful. And I thank you for bearing all that with me. That's why I force you to meditate.
I understand, Master.
Well, not force, but I keep asking and explaining again and again why.
Right.
Yes, Master.
You must, otherwise you get sick after some time.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
If your shirt accidentally gets wet just in one corner, then you can dry it quicker, or it doesn't matter too much. But if you wet the whole shirt, then you'll be cold. You'll get cold.
Yes.
So don't wait until the whole shirt gets wet.
Yes, Master.
You are tough, you are protected. But we have to protect ourselves also.
Yes,
Master.
The world is big and we are only one. You are only one. They say in Vietnam, mảnh hổ nang địch quần hồ, meaning even the strong, powerful tiger cannot fight against a big group of foxes.
Yes, Master.
Because they're a big group, they will gang together and then they will be able to take down the tiger.
Yes, that's true.
Don't be too overconfident.
Understand, Master.
Always take care. Just like when you're sick, I ask you to take medicine or some preventive measure. Always.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
I'm not dictative. You know that, right?
Right.
Yes, Master.
I'm just worried about you.
That's true.
Yes, Master.
Because you're vulnerable in the big, terrible war nowadays. And viruses are everywhere. Not just Omicron.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything, all the bad things seem to be awakened now and attacking the whole world, everywhere.
Yes.
Just a few days ago, normally the World Health Organization, the monkeypox is not to worry about. But now they say they are concerned.
Yes.
It's already everywhere, and it's amounted to like 500 something already. Originally, there were only one or two here and there.
Yes.
And it's easily transmitted between animals, people, and humans. And between humans and humans.
Yes.
Like you get it, you don't know it, and you go home and maybe kiss your wife, French kiss, then that's it, both will get it.
Yeah.
Or touch some infected feces from the animal, people, or from your pet person, or whatever.
Yes.
Even in contact with your pet person, if your pet person got it, you get it. Or some wild animal people, they go into your yard and all that.
Yes.
If they get it, you will get it. Oh, man.
Classically, there are two ways that this can be transmitted. It's through humans and through animals. And of course, close contact, touching sores, especially if they're open, or even touching the clothes that the patient was wearing and picking it up from there. In terms of animals, it would be much of the same, so close contact, but also biting and scratching, or even eating the meat of those animals. And we're talking about small animals like rodents, prairie dogs, things of that nature. Now, in terms of incubation, that's another issue, and it may depend on the mode of transmission. For instance, it would be shorter incubation period if it was something like scratching or biting, and it's been said up to 9 days. The touching, however, can be up to 13 days, even longer. What's notable here, and that you should understand, is that large respiratory droplets have also been implicated in the transmission from human to human of monkeypox. And specifically, it's not like it would be with measles or even SARS-CoV-2, but for instance, if you are within 6 feet of somebody, you would have to be there for at least 3+ hours to have reliable transmission.
All kinds of sicknesses. Oh. And even whatever milk, they say milk or something, salmonella went in it. They call off many. There's a company in France, they recall a lot of milk because of salmonella. Ah, God. You would think milk is harmless.
Yes.
And even something went into strawberry. My God.
Oh.
And you would think strawberry is vegan, no?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing. They use all kinds of fertilizer from the feces and human waste products, or human waste or animal waste and all that.
Yeah.
So everything mixed up, and of course the bacteria will grow everywhere. And if they use fertilizer, then that kind of infected fertilizer will infect your food. I hope we can continue to have something to eat, because if we can't even have vegan, then we'll all die. Even a fruit like that.
Yes.
Or even for vegetarian people, they drink milk.
Yes.
And they eat cheese, and if they can't even have that, then how are they going to survive, huh?
Right.
It's so scary, this world. So I'm not strict with you. I'm not strict to you. I'm just taking care.
Yes, that's right, Master.
Yes, Master.
Thank you.
I'm responsible.
Yes, Master.
Thank you, Master.
Just like I would take care of my dog. People,
Right.
Master.
even if they are not with me, I keep an eye on them all the time. You know that.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Oh, these few days, everything comes together. Disciples sick there, and residents sick here, and the dog people trouble there, and business trouble here. And, oh my God. And I'm feeling nauseated, and headache there and here, and aches and pains. And I ask heaven, they always tell me it's the same mantra, work karma. So I'm lazy to ask anymore. Or sometimes I forget, I ask them, I say, okay, I answer myself. I know already, work karma. No need to wait for their answer.
Yes.
What was that we were talking about before?
Prime Minister Orban.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you can see, whoever supports Russian gangs and even the so-called Orthodox patriarch, you can see they are in the black dot.
Yes.
Because the way Russia, the gangs, and that's comprised of all these armies, go in and even steal people underwear like that. And then raping even boys of 11 years old and kids. How would the world want to shake hands with Putin, even if he's still alive, or with one of his gang members?
True.
So dirty, yucky. You worry about contamination, huh?
That's right.
Yeah. Such a bloody hand, bloody and filthy. How would the world even support such a person or his activities in Ukraine?
Yes.
So if anybody would even want to shake hands with it means coordinating with it. With this kind of person, then you must know it's the same gang in a different location, that's all.
Yes, Master.
Oh, just like gangsters. They have their subordinates, they have their co-gangsters everywhere in different countries. For drugs and human trafficking, they have their agents everywhere doing bad things.
Yes, Master.
So if you can see a person who looks like your neighbor, but he's dealing with drugs, then you know he's an agent of these international drug gangs.
Yes, Master.
Or children or human trafficking, then you know they're just agents of an international crime organization.
Yes, Master.
I guess I'm getting myself in more trouble now, but I don't care. I have to say what I have to say.
Yes, Master.
Don't you think? Would you like to go and shake hands with Putin if he can give you a big position in the Kremlin? Would you like to?
No, not at all.
But these people are stupid. Ukraine still can win, and all the land will come back to them. It's true.
Yes.
Лідер фракції тут, голова Офісу Президента тут, прем'єр-міністр України Шмигаль тут, Подоляк тут, президент тут. Наша команда набагато більше. Збройні сили України тут. Найголовніше – наш народ, народ нашої держави тут. Захищаємо Україну вже 100 днів. Перемога за нами. Слава Україні! Героям слава!
You know, when Ukraine says that it will be fighting to regain its territories, it means that Ukraine will be fighting until it gains all its territory back. So it doesn't mean anything else. It's about our sovereignty, about our territorial integrity, it's about our independence.
You don't encourage robbers if you can control them.
Yes,
It's not like you are helpless, 90-something years old and alone in the house, or you have to do anything, the burglar or the killer. Murderers, robbers, once.
Yes.
This is the whole world united, the whole of Europe, the whole NATO. Everybody is against these gangsters, so they have to take them down by any means.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, they will continue to harm other neighbors.
That's right.
Yes.
They threatened Moldova and Poland already. And before that, of course, they threatened Finland and Sweden. Don't you dare go to NATO.
Yes, Master.
They threatened France and they threatened UK also, Great Britain. And maybe they threatened somebody else that is not printed in the newspaper. We will make a list or something. Oh, terrible, I'm telling you. And how can anybody still support him? Support that kind of mentality and that kind of murderous action? Lower than low-life action. Go in there and kill children and rape children and elderly, 80-something years old even.
Yes, Master.
They don't let anybody be alone, in peace.
No, that's right.
And boasting shamelessly, like we go there to liberate you, to protect you. Protect whom? Huh? They don't even protect the worm under their boots. Even the worms tremble under their boots and their tanks.
Yes, Master.
So it's really shameless. Only devil people do this, yeah? Only evil.
Yes.
They have no shame, no morals, no principles, nothing. Do you understand that?
Yes, Master.
Understand, Master.
I cannot talk enough about it. I hope the world understands. I mean, those people who still support Putin or who still do not understand the scenes behind the war in Ukraine.
Yes.
Normally, Putin says this is a special military operation, but recently I saw in the news that he said that he will find new loving homes for the orphans caused by my war. Now he says it's my war. I saw that in the news. Stealing people's children and making it look like a charity. If he did not make war, how would these children become orphans?
That's right. Exactly.
No, it's just in Russia also everybody has become old and his army is dying, refusing to fight, defecting or running away.
Какой моральный дух в подразделении?
Подавлен. Очень много человек сбежало. Я вообще против Путина, я за него не голосовал ни разу в жизни.
Так зачем ты поехал? Ты не мог сбежать, поднять тревогу?
Поднимали этот вопрос, сказали, срок будет грозить. Другим советую сюда не соваться вообще. Оставить эту землю и все, и жить спокойно, самим у себя.
Мужики обращаются там сейчас на технике, еще там с автоматами, с оружиями. Бросайте это все, технику, оружие, все свои силы, уходите также на границу, бегите, стойте там, я не знаю. Хоть вас сами не выпускают, ну, стойте просто, сдавайтесь в плен, будете живими.
Ще один наслідок деморалізації серед окупантів – дезертирство, яке дедалі частіше стає масовим. Дехто тікає з війська просто дорогою до України.
Я вообще не поддерживаю эту операцию, эту войну. Зачем, для чего? Там Журавлев, многие просто бегут, люди, они все, даже вооруженных сил, они все против.
So now he's trying to get the new children to grow up to become killers.
Yes.
Yeah, to make up for the loss in Ukraine. And talking, sugar-coated like that. Oh, so sickening. Yeah, only devils would do this kind of immoral and shameless thing, knowing nothing of virtues and principles. Normal humans would not do this.
Yes, right.
Just a normal human, not to talk about virtuous human, religiously devout person or spiritual practitioner, nothing. Normal people outside, street sweeper or even commercial shop workers would not do such a thing. they will feel shame. They would know shame.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can see this is a proof that Putin is a devil and his gang the same and his patriarch same.
Yes, Master, I understand.
This is a proof. They prove it themselves.
Yes, they do.
Nobody has to prove it for them. And nobody would believe them anymore.
Yes, Master.
That's why President Zelensky or Ukraine should not give any land to Russia, because what for you live under this kind of devil, dictator, bloodthirsty warmonger?
Exactly.
True.
The citizens in Donbass, they're innocent.
Right.
Yes.
They live on their land, in their houses, in their country. And now suddenly have to be cut off and give it to somebody living like a slave or under a fearful dictator like that. A fearful robber and murderer.
Yes.
How would anybody have the heart to put your citizens into this kind of system?
Yes, Master.
Hung by his wrists and put in stress positions, Oleksandr Guz, a former Ukrainian military draftee, says he was tortured by Russian soldiers, and while his scars are fading, the memories of what happened to him are not. They put a bag over my head and then began beating me, he says. I was so severely beaten, I lost consciousness. Kremlin-backed forces seized control of his southern Ukrainian hometown of Kherson in the early days of its invasion. Since then, Moscow's grip on the city of nearly 300,000 has only tightened, with Kherson now an oppressive dystopia where allegations of torture and disappearances are widespread. You feel constantly under threat that Russians will come and take you away, he says. A bunch of volunteers in the city were already taken by the Russians, and we don't know what happened to them. Every so often, video emerges from Kherson of Ukrainian civilians resisting Russia's occupation, only to be met with violence.
It's not just a piece of land.
Yes, true.
So maybe that's why Putin and the gangs know it. That's why they bomb everywhere. They try to kill all the Ukrainians, as many as possible, or scare them away so that they just take the land. And only the pro-Russian stay.
Oh.
God, sickening.
And then they will use that as a base to continue advancing further into other countries in Europe. They would take Ukraine in time, at another time, after they make themselves strong again. And children grow up more to become cannon fodder. Such evil.
Yes, Master.
It's truly evil. There's no way to escape. There's no way to explain it.
Yes.
Ask any 5 years old, they would say even the same as I said.
True.
Yes.
You don't have to have a lot of education or a lot of common sense to understand it.
Yes, yes.
It's just that many people don't know it because they listen to Russian TV. They listen to their propaganda.
Yes.
Yes.
Evil diplomats. So they think Russia is right. They think Ukraine was really fascist and bad. That's why Russia came in and helped them. They helped them with their refrigerator, maybe their washing machine, their new water boiler. Yeah, because it was still in the box. So the woman saw it tied on top of the tank with other things. She said, "Oh, that's nice." Yeah, they came to my house and now they took my things. She ran away, you see?
Yes.
And then just by coincidence, they saw that. And also some Russian soldiers stole many things and sent it back to their wives. Because they talk about it. He listed them, told his wife what.
Yes.
And the communication system was not very good, so everybody can hear them. They can hear many things. That's why before Ukraine could bomb them, couldn't win because they knew where they are, the way they talked.
Yes.
I think Russia had learned something more now. Also, they have the backup of these two Donbass regions. So now they can kind of slowly gain some pockets. And slowly, they will probably take some more. I don't know if Ukraine would have enough strength and energy to continue. That's what I'm worried about.
Yes, Master.
They also will be tired.
Yes.
True.
They have good attacking drones, for example, Ukraine, that were given by other countries, or maybe homemade. But now Russia brought in those killer artillery that even shoots them in mid-air already, before the combat drones even have a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
For example, like that. It's too scary, man. It's too much. This war is such... Oh, God. It's like a demi-hell, no?
Yes, Master.
All right, my love. Anything else? Did we finish that?
Yes, Master. Thank you.
You happy with my answer?
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
My poor old non-political, non-military old woman answer?
It was very good, Master. Excellent.
Yeah, you asked me all kinds of questions. I wonder why you don't ask these leaders instead. Yeah, we have no chance to talk to them, right? Nobody let us in. We don't even want to see them. We get contaminated so easily.
That's true.
Okay, so it's not a story actually, but what I mean is because humans continue to make bad karma, so we have all kinds of these disasters and wars.
Yes.
And there was an old story long time ago. Actually, long time ago, there was a little village, maybe smaller than a village. How do you call that?
Hamlet?
A hamlet. Okay, it's a hamlet. Maybe they exaggerated it a little bit, but they say if there are only 10 persons there in the hamlet, then 7 of them are robbers. Or thieves, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
The local government didn't dare do anything because they're so vicious. Or maybe they're weak. Maybe the government is weak, just like NATO and other European countries. In the beginning of the war, countries were scared of Putin. They didn't dare say anything, didn't want to be involved.
That's right, yes.
Scared of him and scared of the nukes.
Yeah.
We can change his name into Nukin, yeah? So they will never forget that he is scary. Yeah, so they're scared of Nukin. So it's the same with the government in that old folklore story. They don't dare to even catch them. They just turn a blind eye. Because maybe they're too vicious.
Yeah.
And also these government officials, why should they worry? Because the thieves or the robbers would also not touch the officials. The officials or the government workers, they're safe. So it doesn't matter if these robbers go rob the normal citizens, poor defenseless citizens.
Yes.
So every time if somebody tried to sue them and even catch them, these government officers were just biased and so didn't really give them a fair trial. So these robbers, they were getting bigger and better all the time, more powerful. So they just rob anywhere they wanted. So now, after a while, the officials just felt too scared. Or something, or didn't want to bother, you know, because they have peace, they have everything. Why should they have to risk their life to come and fight with the robbers?
Yes.
They could be even harmful to their lives or maybe their position. So they changed that hamlet name into not an official name, but like a nickname, like that robber hamlet. So whoever claimed that he lives in robber hamlet, even though he's not a robber, you know, there were 3 people. If 10 people, then 7 already are robbers, and then 3 people are innocent.
Yes.
Even if they are not robbers, if they say they live in a robber hamlet, then the officials just let it be. Turn his blind eyes and, make no big deal out of that. Even though he knows they are wrong. They don't give them a fair trial.
Yes.
So now, some other people, sometimes from a different nearby village or something, if they have some issues with each other, with their neighbor, and they sue them, they will come in front of the judge of the whole town.
Yes.
And if they went there and were afraid to lose because their case was not good, then they would also tell a fake story. They made it up. They would say, I am from the robber hamlet. Then the officer would also let it believe it, don't dare to touch. So the other normal citizens were very, very angry. And every time came and argue with that guy who was faking his identity, you see? And then one day it happened that there was a fox, but this was not a normal fox. It was a kind of demon fox.
Yes.
In Vietnam or China or in many countries in Asia, we believe there is a legend that the fox can live for thousands of years. They practice some kind of method so they can live long, and they also have power that they can transform themselves into either human or something to suit their purpose. So this is a demon. Those who live long and practice magic. And there was a fox who made a lot of trouble for the normal citizens.
Yes.
The fox, because he had magic and he was not very good, so he was making a lot of trouble for the people.
Yes.
So one day, the officers and the soldiers of that town captured this fox and put him in a cage. And then they invited a magician to come to make all this hula hoop stuff. And then, so they caught him and put him in an urn. An urn, like they put dead people ashes in it.
Yes.
Put him in an urn and then seal it and then burn it. Otherwise, you can never kill a demon fox by a normal means. So the magician had to recite some incantation while burning. Otherwise, it won't work either. Because this is a demon. It lives for many hundreds of years and has magical power and can escape, even in the urn with the blocked mouth, sealed. So they had to give it to the magician to do the job while they were burning. And the fox inside the urn kept yelling, saying, I am from the robber hamlet. So, of course, everybody laughed. It is a good, funny story, but nowadays it's still the same. It's not really funny, like Russia, just like the fox going making trouble and killing people and all kinds of atrocity.
True.
In the beginning, people were afraid of him, remember?
Yes.
Afraid of him and his gang, and did not dare do anything. The oil and the gas seal their mouths, seal their hearts, and seal their virtues, moral and principles. And now, finally, they got it. They got it together, and they banned the import of Russian oil into Europe.
EU leaders have given the green light to some of the toughest sanctions against Russia so far. They've agreed to ban most of the oil they receive from Russia.
This is very important. Thanks to this, Council should now be able to finalize a ban on almost 90% of all Russian oil imports by the end of the year.
Most of the countries banned that, except Hungary, Orban, for example. But I also have to say that the Europeans did a good thing. It's a lot of sacrifice for them.
Yes.
Suddenly, they have to go without comfort. Cheap gas, they probably could not manage yet, but oil, they already agreed to ban, except Orban and two more.
Right.
Yes.
So most of the European countries already banned the import of Russian oil. This is a lot of help.
Right.
Yes, Master.
Because without enough money, Russia has to somehow kill its ambition or limit its ambition. I just hope so.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
And the people will understand more and more about Russia. brutal war in Ukraine, so they probably will not support it. And everybody will have some way to minimize the size of Russia's influence or friendship.
Yes.
So even Merkel now said Russia's invasion in Ukraine is barbaric. One word, or better than nothing.
Yes.
Well, that probably will earn her some votes if she goes back into the limelight again. She said she is considering going back in there. She probably stays home bored with her husband alone doing nothing. Old and could not even change the boyfriend or anything. Cannot do much anymore, so she has to go back to the political arena.
Yes.
Yeah. My God. Once they have the taste of this mighty power of top politicians, it's difficult to let go.
Yes.
But anyway, as I said, I have to praise Europe for being so courageous and morally fit, at least to some point, that they even cut down the oil from Russia to protest and also to douse the fire in Ukraine. They try their best.
Yes, Master.
Well, the best is that they accept Ukraine immediately and let them go into NATO.
Yes.
I mean, it's not for fighting, but if they join NATO, then they don't have to fight. Because, the snakes, they know each other.
Right.
They don't want to touch each other. But they don't want to do that. I don't know why either. I don't know what stops them. I don't know what slows them down to bring Ukraine into the EU and into NATO. Okay, so now they do the second best, sanction here, sanction there. Continue sanctioning. So maybe that helps because the experts say that Russia's economy is crashing down now. Or it has to.
Yes, right.
Yes.
There's no other choice. If they have no money, then they can't feed themselves. They cannot buy material for the war, those small accessories for tanks, airplanes, rifles, and drones, for everything.
Yes.
And they cannot feed their soldiers. I read the news also that it's already happening.
Oh.
Like many soldiers don't want to fight because they don't get paid. Maybe it's less payment, or maybe too many months don't get paid.
Right.
And also the harsh conditions in a strange land with not enough supplies. The morale is also low because they know it's not a just war. It's not at all. It's just killing civilians. No end like that. Even if they're just a normal soldier, they don't want that.
Yes, that's true.
Even those who are ordered to kill did it in the beginning because they were trained to listen to orders, but they didn't feel good. They felt bad. They were crying to their mothers in Russia that we are the fascists. We are killing civilians here. It's our lives. It's not true. They were crying. And they talked to each other and say, well, what are we doing here? It's not the way we should do as a soldier.
Я живой, все в порядке. Я в плену, мам, в Одессе. Мне грозит тюрьма. Да, мне грозит тюрьма. Мы тут, мама, короче, пиздец. Мы, тут никак миротворцы, как нам говорили. Мы тут, оккупанты, людей убивали мирных. Мама, такой кошмар, просто кошмар. Нас много, человек 20, наверное, точно, 15. С моей части. С моей части только. Мы все, что остались живы, больше нет. Блять, мы фашисты тут. Просто тут фашисты. Мы тут людям такого наделали, это просто кошмар. Нас же дезинформировали, нас же, блядь, все неправду говорили. Говорили, что тут фашисты, блядь, и так далее. Мамы по мирным стреляли.
Civilians live on the territory of Ukraine, ordinary working people. We, it turns out, came here as invaders, occupiers. We are like fascists here.
Even those cadets already understand that. Everybody understands.
Yes.
So if putting all the gangs and the system doesn't have enough support from inside and outside Russia, then sooner or later, Ukraine will win.
Yes.
They don't have to give land like Kissinger was backmouthing before. They can trade. They have also advantages. They can trade land for soldiers or for sanctions even. Because right now, Russia continues to be sanctioned again and again. newly even.
Yes.
I just want to clarify. When I say trade in land for sanctions, that means if Russia doesn't willingly give back the land to Ukraine, then we have to use that. Like, if they are willing to return all the land to Ukraine, then the West will relieve the sanctions on Russia.
Yes, I understand. Yes, Master.
We can exchange that way, so Ukraine still has some leverage.
That's right, Master.
That's what I mean. Is it clear now?
Yes,
Master.
The sanctions are a lot for Russia nowadays.
That's true.
So I don't think Russia will cling on to this land and starve to death or his people.
Yes, Master.
The whole system is already going in a bankruptcy direction. Many businesses are all gone. All big businesses are gone. Even McDonald's packed up.
Yes, Master.
Russia bought some of the McDonald's shops. I think they are going to change it into Rush Donald or something. Because, a lot of sanctions for Russia. They continue to sanction. Then I think Russia has to give up the land for the easing of sanctions on their system, on their leaders, on their country, their businesses, and their oligarchs.
Yes, right.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yes.
It would.
It's not just Ukraine that has to give up something. Why? It's their land.
Exactly.
My God. So they can talk with Russia. They can exchange.
Yes, Master.
It's not like Ukraine doesn't have any leverage, right?
Right. True.
So we wish Ukraine all the best. We wish the war will end, so nobody had to be killed, nobody had to die or be wounded. 40,000 wounded Russian soldiers. That's a big number, no?
Yes, that's a lot.
No wonder their commanders just shot them. They cannot carry all at the same time, and the equipment as well. And when there's a choice, they prefer equipment than their wounded soldiers.
Oh, wow.
That is the thing. That's how you are taught in communism. To disregard human life or emotion as the end will justify the means. Oh, God, what means? Or devils means. No. Any other questions? Otherwise, I feel like I need to put something in my stomach. Because otherwise, I feel like vomiting. I feel nauseating. Talking too much about all these negative things. It's just been piling up. It's not like one time, 2 time news, It's been for 3 months already.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, Master.
And it piles up in me.
Yes, Master.
All this is bad news. All bad things about Russia. Nothing good comes out of it now. Up to now, nothing good. I mean, I don't know why Europe or the West or NATO even hesitate in the beginning. Probably because of oil and gas or nukes, because don't want to touch the tiger. Don't want to touch the robber Hamlet person. Otherwise, they have enough excuses to take down Russia, NATO or not. Because Russia broke everything. They broke all the promises, all the rules with NATO, all the rules with the Hungary memorandum.
Yes, that's right.
All the principles of the UN.
Yes.
Yes.
And also, they broke the founding act with NATO. Because 1990-something, they signed a pact, like none of them should be building up armed forces in Europe. But Russia is doing it all alone.
Yes.
It broke everything. All the agreements, all the principles, all the treaties, and all the international rules, even war rules, not to talk about normal rules.
Yes.
Yeah, they just kill anybody at random.
Here now, this is fresh brown dirt, and they've been using bulldozers that we saw in earlier imagery to slowly dig out these trenches. Around just the town of Mariupol, there are 3 mass graves, and I would say that they're ready for 5,000 bodies or more.
We see facts of torture. When we opened the mass graves with civilians, they were shot. Their arms were tied back their bodies. We have facts of sexual crimes against civilians, not only against women, and even against men, children, and old women.
He shot my mother right between her eyes. таке робили, Боже. Ми ставилися отак, на колінах, роздівали нас. Кого були зековські наколки.
In the aftermath of the Russian occupation, the open wounds of the alleged crimes committed against civilians are everywhere in sight.
Звірі. Це не армія. Армія не воює із дітьми і бабушками, а вони воюють.
Такі наші браття Росія, бачите, яке нам принесло. Горе.
National police teams are here to gather evidence of alleged war crimes against civilians.
Це черговий приклад злочину армії Російської Федерації. Вони не військові, не в територіальній обороні, ні зброї в них не було. Їх просто цивільних людей, яких вони бачили, вони їх розстрілювали на вулицях. Що прямо заборонено конвенцією і стосовно всіми міжнародно-правовими актами вчиняти такі злочини відносно цивільних людей.
They broke everything. So Russia is truly a real criminal in the whole world. It's truly the black side of the Tao symbol.
Yes.
The whole black side of it. So I don't know what NATO and Europe are waiting for. At least protect your own people, you know, like Ukraine. Ukraine is your own.
Right.
They are us, you know. They are theirs. They are Europeans. They are of NATO mentality.
Yes.
So it's their own people. At least protect them.
Exactly.
And deal with the bully.
That's right.
Yes.
But they did neither.
Yes.
Up to now, 3 months already. How many people died? How many people suffered under extreme agony already? NATO, if they only help their own members who pay them, who are supporting them, and not help those in need right in front of their eyes, suffering in front of their eyes, then it's worse than business. It's not just business. It's worse than business. And this kind of organization, mentality, or action has no ounce of merit in the eyes of heaven. If they're working in that non-compassionate principle, just working like your business, it's worse than business. What's the difference between NATO and the gangster outside? Those organized criminals that threaten business people or some weaker people outside, extort them for money and threaten them. If they don't give them money, then they will be harmed by them or other gangsters. So what is the difference between NATO and these organized gangsters? They still, dilly-dally.
Yes.
The world is upside down, just like the story I told you.
Yes.
If you are a robber, you are protected. If you are a normal citizen, you'll be biased against.
Yes.
But that is a true story.
Yes.
True story. But it happens nowadays also. I read some news sometimes that the police force and the mafia also have their respect for each other. If you don't touch me, I won't touch you.
Yes.
Yeah, otherwise, if you get one of them, they will come in and say, you want your police car to blow up tomorrow? Things like that. And the police will talk back, you want your brother in a cage tomorrow? And I would say, I told you, you have your own territory. But you have to do things more quiet, please. Don't go overboard. Then we both understand each other. Something like that. Yeah. They have their pact. Nowadays they still have. They're also afraid of the mafia. Yeah. Sometimes they catch them, but mostly they try to leave them alone.
Yes.
Because it doesn't hurt their things. It only hurts ordinary people, helpless people's things.
Yes, that's true.
This world. I'm telling you, if it's not hell, then it's what? Huh? In heaven, we have fair judgment. But in heaven, there's no judgment. There's no need.
Yes.
This world needs judgment, needs fairness, and we don't have it. Mostly we don't have it.
Yes.
If you roar loud and you have weapons, then people will just listen to you. Or if you have oil and gas, it's even better. Then you can control everywhere and nobody dare say anything. all this coward. This makes me really sick. Okay, never mind. We had some good news before, so I'll refer to those. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, I need to go now. My stomach bugs me.
Yes.
Okay, Master.
And I wish you a good evening. Okay.
Thank you, Master. Master. Thank you.
I wish you all the best. God love.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Master.
And my love. My little love. God's love is big, and I chip in my little love for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Master.
We love you, Master.
See you next time.
See you, Master.
Bye-bye, Master.
I wish we could sail the same destination. I want to break these chains of my desperation.